live from the Reichstag today. This is Dramacast episode 1. Dramacast is a subgenre podcast of the Austincomedy Network. It is one of the many things we plan on doing. We are live right now with most of our production team. We have Patrick Carpenter and Hunter Parker on the keys. We are also joined by Caleb, a local comic from Roppolo's Pizza. He hosts the Roppolo's Pizza mic 3 times a week down here in Austin, Texas, right next door to the mothership. And we also are joined here by Marcus, our friend from Germany. The goal of this podcast is that I want to introduce the world to interesting people and have conversations with them, joined by generally 1 or 2 more comics. Right now we have the production team who are willing to be on camera with us. We have Caleb, who is joined by us since him and Marcus have been having a good time over the last few weeks.
We've been having a blast, haven't we?
Yeah, most definitely, man.
And Marcus is one of those interesting people I just love to have a conversation with in front of the world because he's a great guy. And
well, thank you, man.
I always love talking to our European counterparts, especially, as a German, you can kind of relate to what it's like to be an American, to just have so much power. Have so much power.
Feels good, doesn't it? Yeah, feels good.
It does a little bit, too bad sometimes.
Dirty pleasure. Yeah.
A few things that I wanted to talk about was I wanted to go into our conversation. Into having, talk about a few things with Marcus. But first off, I wanted to start off by saying, talking with the crew about, how has it been since we started Austin Comedy Network? You guys are both recently added to the team, both Patrick and Hunter. How have you guys been enjoying your time filming and getting content out on a regular basis? We're one of the top producing. We just recently started actually rolling out content like 3 weeks ago, but we are vastly growing and we are producing almost the most content in Austin, I'd say, right now in terms of comedy.
Yeah.
Dude, I love it. Really excited. Looking forward and
Excited to start something here, man. It's nice.
Great. So Marcus, how have you enjoyed your time in the land of the free and home of the brave, the lands of guns and drugs, baby?
Yes, exactly, man. Guns and drugs, guns and roses,
choose your
bro.
vice, choose your city.
Choose your enemies wisely. Yeah, man. It has been a blast, bro. Like, quite literally, and I'll be having the literal blast sometime next week when we're still gonna hit the gun range, man. I'm fucking looking forward to that shit, man. I can tell you that, bro.
He's been so excited to hit the gun range out in Texas. But I'm just so concerned.
Yeah, man.
I'm just so concerned that he might go back and teach the rest of them.
we just have to make sure that we go to a place that has like a rocket launcher.
Yeah, for sure. That'd be
most
dope.
definitely, bro. That would be fucking dope, man. Yeah, but no, anyways, coming back to it, brother, man, it has been like multifaceted in my trip so far, multi-dimensional in every sense, man.
Yeah.
Especially considering the last time we all sat here down on the couch, man. That has been a blast, most definitely. Shout out to George, by the way.
Yeah. Shout out to George.
Shout out to George, man. Winter Soldier.
Around here.
Yeah,
He's
man.
not joining us here right now, but this podcast is actually a reshoot. We actually did episode 1 already a few nights ago, but we were all so intoxicated that we couldn't.
As fuck, boy, like tripping balls and everything, bro. I got lost in his face, man. Like he looked like he'd been on a roller coaster, man.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
The jaws were fucking
and smiling on.
Having the time of our lives.
That was so great, man. I loved it, bro. Yeah, man. Fucking great time. Yeah, no, but all in all, man, like the people I just got to meet so far, man, they've been like cool as fuck, open, like can talk about basically everything, and just like I noticed, man, like comedians are my people, man. Like I just love hanging out with comedians, especially in the bag with Creek in the Cave, but just like also the small talks or even longer
talks.
Shout out to
Creek in the Cave.
Shout out to Creek in the motherfucking cave, man. Shout out to Creek in the Cave. I love you guys.
Best hang in Austin.
Yeah, best hang in fucking Austin, most definitely, man. I love it there. And yeah, just like the whole ambiance, the vibes, the energy in general, it's just so nice.
So how have you
Yeah.
how have you enjoyed spending your time with comics over this last week and a half while you've been visiting Austin.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
It's been great.
Yeah, amazing, man. Enjoying the shit out of it,
We're
brother.
a real interesting group of people. aren't we?
Yeah, I love it, bro.
But
I
you've
love
been
it.
having a ball, haven't you?
Yeah, most definitely. That's exactly what I want, man. That's exactly my type of people, bro. Yeah. Also very individual, yet with similar or the same interests, and all of us or all of you guys following the same goal of comedy and pursuing comedy, entertainment in general, but also just having great conversations and uplifting the spirits and widening horizons. All good. Widening the horizons. I guess, well, basically that's also what comedians do, or what comedy does. Like, you know, push the envelope, widen the minds of people to those who are recipient to it. So I love it, man. All of it. It's great.
I'm curious, are you guys allowed to have guns in Germany?
Mm-hmm.
You are?
But you need to be part of a membership of a certain organization, and then you can only
The German military. Or a police officer.
No, as a matter of fact, they have like these own little like hunting
hunting
groups,
clubs.
hunting clubs, and there they also have shooting stands to like practice their shooting. So there, specifically, you're allowed to shoot a gun, but other than that, no, open carry and shit like that. No, you get in prison for that.
I don't know, but that brings me to my next question. So it sounds like your gun laws are very similar to the UK in that you actually can't own most type of firearms.
Yeah.
You can have a hunting rifle for specific reasons, and that's
Yeah.
literally just for hunting, just about.
Yeah.
But like in terms of like getting a 9mm just for the common citizen, like I'm pretty sure. Do they allow you to get licensed for that? Like, is that
No.
possible?
No.
No. What about knives? You guys are allowed to
Yeah.
have knives?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
but still
get shanked
strict
a
on the
lot.
live laws.
You get shanked a lot.
Have you been checked a lot?
Mm-hmm.
No.
No, but this is like very typical for things that like crime in Germany, in Hamburg, like shanking is basically stabbing, right? If I understand that correctly.
Is it true that European gangsters pull up in Mercedes Sprinter vans and
Yeah.
come out in tracksuits?
Yeah.
Adidas tracksuits.
Yeah, they go crazy. It's so crazy, man. So, I find them mostly pretty ugly, to be honest. Man. Like they're not like really styleful or whatever. Like, and the shoes of color, man, often is like god awful. But yeah, man, they love their Adidas jumpsuits, man. The Europeans, it's crazy, man. They just love it. And bro, like since I'm a kid, like you have the feeling like for just some reason either the people do not have any taste, and that's one of the reasons, or secondly, like they're running out of ideas because they're always running on with the same clothes, the same jacket, the same three stripes, and the same color, man. It's like saw that all already before, man. It's getting kind of boring, but yeah.
So let me ask you, as a German, as someone who comes from across the pond, what is the common perception you'd say of Americans, like the generalized perception of Americans, you know, for people who've never been here?
What the generalized perception is for people who've never been here, well then, Americans, do not take it.
He's trying to be nice.
I'm trying to be nice right now, but hey, listen, I'm
let me tell you what I've heard first. Let me tell you what I've heard first to make it easier. So, of course, we are one of the most overweight countries in the world. We indulge a lot. Yeah. We indulge a lot in our breads, butters, and sugars.
Yeah, bro, you do, man. You do, bro. You do.
Another thing is we suck at geography. We suck at international. We are not very internationally aware as a population.
Yeah. No, you're fat, stupid people.
Yeah, that's it.
I'm just gonna say fat, stupid people.
Yeah,
man.
yeah. This is the common perception. But are there any
That's gonna be a
positives?
popular
Like,
opinion.
Yeah, most definitely.
like we are the entertainment capital of the world.
Not only entertainment capital, but you're the most open. I would say like on a scala, on a psychological scala, we have like multiple traits, and on the scale of openness, you guys, in my personal experience and opinion, are way up there. So that means you let in a lot, and you have been known also in the past. That's the whole reason why, for example, the Hollywood industry is like so strong, or has gotten so strong, is because the USA has allowed for also the greatest minds from other countries to come here and to set up shop, so to say, have a live-in, but also, of course, then profiting the sciences here, governmental branches, whatever. But that has been the whole good catch 180 of the USA in the last years. They have been taking the best people here and therefore also creating the best, most interesting products. I mean, basically, look, iPhones and all the apps, social media, entertainment, and as you said, YouTube, Netflix, all of these are, in my personal opinion, American domains, or who had their like origin story somewhere here in America or inspired through it. So you guys most definitely are setting the culture for the whole world. That is undeniably true. Music, movies, series, you are number one. Number one. So, and that is just the great thing. And this is what I love about America. And that is the reason why I want to move here. I love it here. I love the people here. I love the energy. I love the spirit. I mean, and also they're like self-humor.
And you love to gain weight.
Yeah. But the thing is, like, Americans. I've been eating. Yeah.
He's been eating good. They might not let him back.
I've been eating good, boy. I've been eating good, bro.
They might not let him back in. They're like, oh my god, you might contaminate.
Marcus,
Gotta book 2 seats on our way back.
how much do you think that you gained since?
Huh?
How much do you think you gained since being in the US?
Probably about like
8 pounds.
5-6 kilos.
Something like
I don't know. Yeah, we got different scales, like different
Yeah.
metric systems and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, we're on the metric system.
Yeah.
You guys are imperial out here.
Yeah.
That's what your system.
Imperial.
Don't do that. You scare me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
say
it's a little
Who
intimidating.
say Imperial?
Every time I hear German, it either sounds like sexual or like scary.
Yeah. Or
Yeah,
threatening.
that's
Or
exactly.
threatening.
There's no in between.
And it's actually all of the above.
Or
Yeah.
both.
German is a very serious language.
German are very serious people.
Yeah.
That's the thing, and that's why. And coming back to what I love here about the U.S. and America so much, even though you can be and have been fucking serious in many things, you're also like very unserious in some kind of sense. Like, you know, you don't take things too serious. Or let me just speak about the comedy scene then, or the people I've met here. You guys don't take things too seriously. Well, it has gotten this way perhaps now with like all of the politics, but let's not get into that. But like Germans, just from their nature, let me go there. From my personal experience, the last 16 years living there, they are not as open, not as communicative, not as like, you know, loving the moment and just wanting to go a little bit, you know, crazy, like, you know, just taking some acid, man, and just having a little bit fun on 6th Street, like, you know. Yeah.
Have we actually clarified during this one that he was born in New York? So he is a dual citizen, like basically American.
Yeah, he is technically an
he just grew up
American
in
citizen.
Germany.
Yeah.
That's true.
So he can-
Dual citizen, yeah.
Yeah, but your parents are German.
Yeah,
aren't
German,
they?
German.
They're both
yes.
full German.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
so he's
exactly.
He is
Yeah.
full German. He's just also technically an American.
German Blut.
Yeah. One of the
That's German Blut.
One of the beautiful things about this country is like no matter where if you're born here, you're just
Yeah.
automatically
Yeah.
granted citizenship,
Exactly.
regardless of the circumstances. For the most
Exactly.
part.
Yeah.
Like,
Extremely.
it's crazy because you're really an American citizen.
I am really an American
Does that-
citizen.
Does that trip you out sometimes when
Yeah.
you think about it? Like, because you
Yeah.
grew up almost your whole life in Germany. You spent
Yeah.
quite a bit of time
Yeah.
in Brazil too.
Yeah.
Which
that's
is
true.
another thing that I want to touch on.
Yeah.
You know, later in the podcast.
Yeah,
But,
sure, bro.
Like, how does it feel to, you know, is it something that you never really thought about growing up in Germany, and then as you got older realized like, fuck, I'm really an American too. Like, I can just go there.
You know what? Actually, I found out about, for some reason, I found out about the fact that I'm American when I was 12 years of age. I did not, ironically enough, I did not know, or I've forgotten it again to that point where I was actually born, or it never like really interested me, because, you know, just somehow did not like.
I'm just gonna have to put that in the title because that's just so hilarious. Forgetting he's American.
Yeah.
Forgetting you're American.
Yeah, man.
Because I mean, there's so many people who probably have like such similar stories. You know, their parents were on business out here, or for whatever reason, they were out here for a brief moment and they had a child.
Yeah.
And that child technically is an American citizen because of the way our country works.
Exactly.
And for those of you who don't know, that's not the case everywhere in the world.
Yeah.
Like just because you're born somewhere does not make you a citizen
Exactly.
in most countries.
Exactly.
Actually, I believe.
Yeah.
But America is one of those places where, like, if you're born here, regardless, like, you are an American citizen.
Yeah.
You know, and that shows that the almost equity and diversity of this country. Just
Exactly.
Like, fucking everybody gets a fair shot. If you were born here, like, you're part of this land. Because we have no.
I love it.
There's no look to an American. There's no look to an American.
I'm just wondering,
Like the way how we tell each other apart is if you sound different. Like if you speak English, we just assume you're
like
American.
me.
Like it doesn't matter if you're black, white, Asian, Japanese, fucking Portuguese. It doesn't matter. Like if you speak perfect English, like we're just gonna assume you're born. Like we don't even think about it most of the time.
Yeah,
Because it's just like you're such a wide range of people who live here. Like,
I'm just wondering why more people don't like book trips to the U.S. like close to their due date.
Yeah.
Oh, a lot of people do. You'd be surprised.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised. That's something that customs watch out is for.
I bet they do, man.
Yeah,
I bet they
a lot
do.
of people who do.
Yeah. No, but man, and then when I found out I was 12 and I already lived in Hamburg, and when I went with that information to school, I was so fucking proud. Like, you know, I thought, yeah, man, cool, I'm an American. Like, you know, I felt like special, man. I felt like,
That's how we feel everywhere.
Yeah. No, because I mean, dude, it's America we're talking about, man. Fucking big ass country with so many different just things, culture, possibilities, things that go on, adventure, excitement, Hollywood, you fucking name it, bro. And and what happened was I got picked on. I got picked on so heavily by school, they fucking hated Americans, bro. That was exactly the time when Bush was president, and you know, and with all the Afghanistan shit, you fucking Americans, you warmongers, and all of that shit. So yeah,
Which
man.
is true.
They're wrong. I was about to say they were wrong.
But
But to be fair, you guys did help us in the war.
Yeah, but that's what 12-year-olds don't know. They all read up on MSN News. Remember MSN, guys, back then when there was MSN chat? Microsoft Network. Yeah, this was our WhatsApp back then, which you could also only do through the computer, but they always had like these like little short like flash news, like which you still have today, like, you know, on your phone or whatever. And it was America this, Bush that, and this and that. So yeah, but still, man, I stood against it, bro. I said, fuck you guys, man. I'm not doing you any harm. Like, you know, I'm just proud to be an American and happy about that fact. So yeah, it was hard, it was tough, but still, man, fuck yeah. I mean,
it's so funny because
survived it all, man.
That's a topic I took. Go ahead, Patrick.
I'm just picturing you like walking down the hall, just like blasting Bruce Springsteen right by. Just wearing a old navy shirt.
I wish we could pull the pictures up. He has a picture of him looking just like Tom Cruise and fucking. I was like, dude, you know you look like Tom Cruise, right? He's like, that's.
I did it on purpose, man. I wanted the most
like,
cliche American fucking looking thing I could, like, bam, just put that shit out there, man. Yeah.
He's got a University of Texas shirt on with a fucking blue jean jacket, blue jeans in front of a fiery red Mustang.
Yeah,
that's
man.
fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I needed that for the inner child, you know.
The inner child. It was the most American fucking thing I've ever seen. I was like, I don't know an American who could do it better than this guy just did. Like,
that shit was comically.
Exactly, right? Yeah.
Oh
man,
it was a great photo though too.
Yeah,
it also looked amazing.
Yeah. Thank you. Man.
So I'm wondering, would you be able to join the CIA being an American citizen?
Yeah, most definitely. I could even become your own president.
So I got a great question about that. I mean,
tell me, bro.
So did you even have to get a visa or anything when you came?
No, nothing. Nadie, amigo. No tenía que hacer puta nada. No, what I had to do was actually just, that was the hassle, man. Like, I felt like, dude, do I even need to wipe the embassy's ass? Like, what else do they want from me? Like, the application process and just renewing your US passport, you need to print out so many documents. Then, like, the casing of the letter, like 2 times postmarks and whatever have you, and then send it through via post. You could not, like, go in person to any embassy and get it, like, renewed or send an application there. So that was quite the hassle, but man, it went through all good, and I'm here, ain't I? So therefore, yeah. No, just needed to renew my passport, but I don't need to any visa or whatsoever. No, no, nothing.
Yeah,
it's just like flying in, all cool, man, easy.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's fucking great.
Yeah, man. Fuck yeah, bro. USA, USA, USA.
So that's another thing I wanted to touch on.
Yeah.
I mean, just how you were teased in Germany for being a German when you were younger.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, like, the same thing can happen for being German in the rest of Europe. Like, you can also be teased for being German.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah.
Tell me a little bit about the things that they said about the Germans.
Dude, when I lived in London for 2 years after the time I lived in Brazil.
England and
Oh
Germany
yeah,
have like
oh
a
yeah,
old rivalry.
oh yeah, oh they hate Germans,
And
man.
just to
Oof.
explain it a little bit, there's a little bit of history behind it because Britain, as the old empire of the world, like constantly saw Germany as its European competitor, and like this is one of the biggest reasons for World War I and World War II is this constant competition between the falling empire of the UK or the Great British Empire, whatever, it depends on the time and the name of it, but and the constantly rising power of Germany,
Yeah.
who over the last 100 years has been knocked down to zero, like
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
3 or 4 times, and
Dude,
just
most definitely,
continues to become
Yeah.
the number one economic
Yeah.
power in Europe.
It's crazy,
Like
bro.
how?
It's crazy.
Like they've been completely
Work ethic,
destroyed.
like crazy, yeah.
They've been destroyed like
Yeah.
3 different times over the last century.
Yeah.
And they just continue. Like, I know that shit bothers. Like, of course, the common citizen in both the UK and Britain is not really too in tuned into this, but
Yeah.
like for the elites in both
Yeah.
areas, like I
Yeah.
know it must be so
Yeah.
frustrating for like the
Yeah.
higher ups in
Yeah.
Britain just to like damn, because I mean economic interests rule the world.
Of
So at
course,
the end of the day,
always.
they've been more and more as time has gone on, and Germany's continued to grow as an economic power, having
Exactly.
to concede or listen to Germany, and then the true reality is no country as a superpower wants to do that.
No, that's true, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just as America continues to bully the rest of the world, which is the truth, whether most Americans realize it or acknowledge it or not, Germany also has they also have that same kind of influence in Europe, where a lot of Europe is unfortunately, they have to follow whatever Germany's interests are in the matter
Yeah.
because they have so much economic power in terms of the EU.
Yeah, yeah, that's true, man. Yeah, that's crazy, bro. Yeah, man, I remember we celebrated. I went to a German school called Deutsche Schule London with also many other German kids. And one time we were celebrating the birthday of a friend of mine in Richmond Park, like his 12th birthday. And other, like, even grown ones were there. And when they, like, asked us or heard that we were German, they said, "Go get those Nazis! Fuck you!" And shit like that, like the little children. Like, I was like, wow, man.
Yeah.
That was crazy, bro. Yeah, man.
Well, okay, so I mean, because being German is kind of like and I can only use this example because I mean I can relate it to me, but it's being black in a sort of way. It's just like there's so much, like dark history, to it, and not in quite the same way. But I mean, like, you definitely can get teased for being German for something that you had nothing to do with. You know, a time way before you.
Yeah.
You know, and I let the Germany jokes all fly all the time.
Yeah, but I love it too. Yeah, man. Dude, I prepared a whole 5-minute bit about it.
But comedy is different from seriousness and hate.
Yeah,
You know,
that's
I
true.
love to
That's
joke
true.
around and fuck around about
Exactly.
everything. You know,
Yeah.
because I believe that. I believe all. I mean, you know, the beauty in comedy is making things that aren't necessarily funny. You know, and having a laugh about them. You know, or trying to make them funny.
Exactly.
But I mean, true hate and true discrimination is something completely different.
Yeah.
Have you ever felt like, is that like a common occurrence that you had, like traveling around the world? I mean, because you traveled quite a few places.
Yeah.
Is that like something that you've had to deal with at times, like people being inappropriate with the jokes, sometimes it going too far, like, or as a child experiencing like hate or discrimination for being German?
Well, the most discrimination I faced ever in my life was in Germany per se. When I moved there, the first 2 years were really tough. I went to a godforsaken Catholic school, man. I was hell on earth. And like over the years, it was not like particularly easy for me because, well.
The priest had a big dick.
Pretty hard, man. Oh, man, my ass hurt for weeks, bro. For weeks, man. Could not walk straight. No, but it was just like, yeah, man, they're not really open, humorful people, man. They take way more time and like, you need way more time in getting to know them because they keep their distance from everybody, basically. And it's hard to make friends with Germans because they're just like really, just from their lifestyle, the way they perceive life, the way they go in life, it's very, very different from, for example, the Brazilian mentality that I got to learn and love so much while growing up as a child there in Brazil.
So tell us a little bit about that. When did you move to Brazil and how long did you spend there? Why?
I lived there from 5 until almost 10 years of age for basically 4.5 years to be quite exact. But as a child, dude, like a year feels like almost like 2 years, right? So like I still have a way longer time in memory than it was again. But yeah, 4.5 years. Lived there from 5 until practically almost the age of 10. My birthday's on the 1st of July, so yeah. And bro, it was a wonderful time, man. I loved it. The people there are just so friendly, open, kind-hearted, dance, love good food, living the moment, everything, bro. You just feel so in touch with nature and everything, and especially Rio de Janeiro, man. I've never seen a city that is just like so in sync and in harmony with just nature. And they have this big ass Jesus statue there on the top of the mountain.
Mindful of that mic right there. You're bumping into it.
Oh,
Really heavy.
sorry, bro. Yeah, man.
So,
But it's great, man. Brazil.
what does Rio de Janeiro translate to?
Rio de Janeiro, to which it translates to is hold on. What is it? Fluss. The English word lake of the Lake of January.
Okay.
Lake of January. I need it a little bit because my brain still thinks in German. I need to translate the German words in English and then from English into Portuguese.
Yeah.
Back then it was different. First it was Portuguese and English, and then a little bit German came over while, ironically enough. At first I was raised with English because my parents thought they would still live a little longer in the US, but yeah, then just a little bit of German during these this 1.5 years where we switched places, and then from Berlin, then Germany to finally Brazil. So yeah, but I remember a time, dude, where I forgot German words. I could not really speak German all that well anymore. I just spoke Portuguese so much, man.
Yeah.
It was basically my mother language, actually.
So, interesting thing about that. So first, I want to get back into a little bit of your experience in Rio de Janeiro.
Yeah.
But first off, I want to ask you about your languages because while we're on the subject.
Yeah.
So I believe you speak English, German, and Portuguese fluently, right?
Exactly. Sim, senhor, eu posso falar português. Oi, galera do Brasil, tudo bem? Isso é seu carioca. Tudo de bom pra vocês.
But you also speak a little bit of Spanish.
A little bit, yeah.
And I mean, I was listening to you though. You can hold a pretty decent conversation.
Thank you, man.
And you also, do you speak Dutch too?
No. Dutch, no.
No, not Dutch.
No.
Are there any other languages that you speak?
No. I learned, I wanted to learn Japanese back in high school because I had like a really strong anime phase and manga phase. I was knees deep into that. Yeah, man, I was knees deep into that shit, bro. Still got a whole manga collection at home, bro. Like a whole closet full of that shit. But I was already 18, 19 back then, and then the party years started, so I did not learn anything anymore. I just spent my time outside most of the time, hung out with friends, the dumb shit, went party, whatever, man. Took a lot of MDMA, especially after finishing high school, man. We were on it, bro.
I was about to ask, isn't there a big rave scene in Germany?
Yeah, there is. Yeah, Germans love. Yeah, that is true. Germans just love to rave, man, and they just love to pop, especially ecstasy and MDMA. That's their shit. From Europeans,
on
especially.
really private, closed off societies where it's a lot more it's a lot more common to keep yourself put together and tame in public.
Yeah.
those societies party hard at night.
Yeah.
Like the UK,
Exactly.
crazy raves.
Crazy, bro.
Spain, Germany, all these, almost a lot of the European countries, they have like crazy like party scenes underground.
Yeah.
I mean, or either that, or like if they don't allow that to some extent, like in the more in the countries where there's less of a big city scene, like for instance, in Germany, there's like several big cities. UK, the same thing. Spain, France.
Yeah.
In those cities, you have access to Paris, Berlin,
Yeah.
London,
Yeah.
Barcelona, etc.
Yeah.
But in like countries like maybe like Sweden, like Sweden, there's not much going on. I mean, even if you get into the biggest city there,
But
it's not quite like
I
it's
think
up
that's-
north.
Yeah.
I think that's why
They got,
apparently
like,
a lot of Swedish people go to like Ibiza. That's like, and of course
That's
like
true,
like all the
Ibiza.
other European countries.
Yeah, Ibiza is a big spot for people.
No, a
to
lot of
party.
Swedish people don't go to Ibiza. Ibiza
Really?
is like one of the most expensive places on earth. Like,
Mm.
in terms of tourist areas,
Yeah.
like Ibiza is not a place that normal
No.
people go. Like,
But
Yeah.
Swedish people
No,
are rich though.
no, so that's not Maybe like Swedish supermodels. Like they're not
Oh,
the
yeah.
average person in Sweden is just going. There's not the average person from anywhere just going to Ibiza. That's a rich people location. Like that's for tourists, people.
Well,
who like
I
to
just
party.
assumed that like Sweden was like everyone was rich there. So
No, I'm pretty sure they have a higher average like income.
The Danish people, especially as well, but it's also a little bit more expensive there. But Danish people get more money than Germans. So the best countries to make money in Europe, so to say, are at least I know of Denmark. Most definitely, Denmark pays pretty good money. But yeah, it's like also like you need to know like. And this is like the thing, this basically comes down to this, your own personality and of course your also determinacy, your willpower, like what you want for yourself in life and with what you can live for. Like I'm not a person for the north. I'm not like a northern person. I could not, especially like just like the German area, it's not my strain of mentality that I like to smoke, if I may phrase it like that metaphorically a little bit. It's just too sour for me, and I feel sorry. And I mean, hey, it is what it is. But like, I just like, for example, I could live better in Spain, Italy, or whatever. But like, for me, it's like I've visited these places already, and like. I personally, since I do not speak Spanish, for example, as fluently as I do English or the other languages, or Italian for that matter, I'd rather live in an English-speaking country, so either UK or here. But UK, since they had this Brexit thing going on, as you remember, like they're not part of the European Union anymore.
Their economy is shit.
Yeah, and their economy is also. I shout out to Daniel. Shout out to Daniel and his whole family in London. Man, love you, bro. They're like their family, and I came to visit them.
UK, I'm not taking a shot. Our economy is shit. Is shit in the bed right now too.
Yeah, it's going there,
You
man.
know what's
Let's just don't hope it totally crashes.
But you guys are doing a little bit worse off than us.
Yeah, that's true. So no, anyways, man. So UK is not really that easy or a possibility for me. So
See, we
bro,
still have an empire. So
I'll
we
go
pawn
you
our
to the
problems
US,
off
man.
to other
Why
people.
not, bro? I got the passport and everything, bro, and I like it here, man. So why
So
not?
we're getting a little bit off track. I
True.
wanted to ask you about what are some experiences that you've had at Rio de Janeiro? So what I mean by that is, tell me give me like one of the crazy experiences you have, and then give me like one of the best experiences you have, and well, let's start with those two first.
Okay, so the craziest experiences I had, two of them were robberies when I was 19 years old. When I returned to Brazil to do my social year, I worked for almost half a year as an English teacher in the favela. Pavãozinho was the name, and I was never robbed there, never in the favela itself. First crazy experience was I was the only white guy in the whole favela. And I must say, it was crazy having all of those eyes on me, because everybody looked at me like a complete stranger because I have a complete European face, but I was walking around with the official uniform of that nuns church, which also had their little house in the favela, and they are known to do work for the whole community, so they're being left in peace, and everybody who's working for them is also like part of the community, so they're not being touched. However, of course, you're being looked at. So that was crazy, and even for them, more perplexing that I could speak in fluent dialect-free Portuguese with them. So that made it all the more like, you know, energetic, I would say. I did a lot of like, I did a lot of house visitations there, and like took care of like also grocery shopping and stuff like that. One thing that I saw there was a small girl living together with her grandma and her father, who was like just doped out of his head and like laid in bed and did the whole time like this and all of that. Like people you partially also see walking around here on 6th Street. There was a guy similar to that in the barricades. And like the 2 times where I was, because I want to make this short, 2 times I was robbed was never in the favela. One time I was at the beach walking with it was in December, a good friend of mine with whom I went to school there came to visit because his family still lives there, and he always comes to visit over Christmas. So he spent 2 weeks in December there, and both of us also speaking German, and also him having such a loud voice like I do. We're walking down like at the beach, but on the side of the whole buildings, not like in the beach per se, because that would be stupid. There you're even more like open to shit happening. But yeah, those guys were smart. They waited at a construction site, which was like, you know, planned through and all of that stuff. So yeah, and feeling that revolver, like that cold metal here on my liver, where he like pointed it, that was crazy, man. At that moment, I know that, yeah, this is like real life. This is no video game or GTA shit, bro. This is like the real fucking deal, man.
As someone who's been robbed before, I understand the feeling.
Yeah,
and
that's
it's
crazy,
like, you always think the situation's gonna go different until it
and he was coked out, bro. He was coked out, brother.
And see,
I saw that
problem,
directly, bro.
man.
I saw that directly, bro. And I thought, like,
dude,
what is if you're not happy with what I'm giving him right now? What bad, bro?
I was also robbed by somebody who was heavily intoxicated. I don't know if it was amphetamines or cocaine or what, but they were losing their mind.
Yeah,
and
you never know if it's
I mean, at first I was like not worried about it at all, until I realized like how high he was, and that was what paranoid me even more, because I'm just like, this guy is robbing me at the mall in broad daylight in the parking lot. I'm like, he's already lost his mind. I'm like, he has nothing to lose. I'm like, I have a life. I'm like, shit, I don't have much going on, but I like what I got.
Exactly. Amen, brother.
I'm
Amen.
like, do you want more? Like, I will hand you my socks. Just calm down. I will give you my drawers. I'll strip naked. Just let me live.
Yeah, exactly. Man. Exactly, bro. And the second time, and that was the one that like that shocked me the most. I was sitting in front of my apartment in a little park that was just right across the street, right across the bar. I took a caipirinha, set myself there on the bench, I listened to music, and I looked on the ground a little bit. I don't know why. Or I looked on my phone, and then I saw like 2 little feet approaching, and then I looked up, took my headphones out, and there were like 2 children, man. Tops like 7 years old, man, like really tiny, and they spoke to me in Portuguese. Give me all your coins, uncle. And like doing that, like taking out a big ass.
That is hilarious.
Dude,
all your coins. All your coins, uncle.
That's tio. Me dá só a moeda, tio. It's like slang, like you know when you speak to somebody who's older, but you don't like.
Oh, they like calling you old man. Give me all your shit, old man. Like
more or less.
What did they have for weapons?
Huh?
What did they have for weapons?
Big ass knives. Like I did not know how from these pockets they pull out, but they had like 2 things, and they were standing like right in front of me, right? So I thought to myself, shit. Exactly in the moment where I got my iPhone with me, right? Because before that, I never like went out with my iPhone or whatever. Just like with a simple Nokia, I just didn't listen to music while on the way and shit like that, just because of that. And then I thought to myself, nah, man, you little fuckers are not gonna get this iPhone. So what I did was no, what I did was I said I played along and said okay. I went up, took the money and said, here, oye, tengo todo. And then look here, I have everything. And then I threw it there, like in their faces more or less, so they like tried to catch it. And then I took a jump over the bench like this, and then I just started running, and they were pissed as fuck. They started running behind me. I lost like one what do you call this, like loafer or whatever on the way. It's like, fuck it. Yeah, the little kid like took the shoe and then fuck you threw it like after me. Still, he was pissed as fuck that I tricked them that way. But I thought to myself, nah, man, they're so small. I can run faster than them. They won't catch up to me. Like they got too little. Their feet are too tiny, man. So yeah, I got away.
Yeah, luckily. Were you worried for a second that they might catch you? Like, did they when you look back, were they running a little bit faster than you thought they could run? It is their home.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. No, I just like took off and like sprinted like crazy, and like after like 5 seconds, I looked back, but they were not as fast. They could not catch up as fast with me.
Hopefully not.
Yeah.
I mean, they were like 7.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
But did you like have paranoia about seeing them again after that?
I can't remember. I can't remember actually. Yeah, I mean, I was paranoid anyways after these times, man. Yeah, and then the second thing was the shootings started happening more frequently because it was exactly the year before the International World Cup, 2014. I was there 2013, and the so-called peace police, as they're called in Brazil, like the favela unit. They went there in regularly to basically clean up because they wanted to make everything a little bit more safer and touristy friendly. So then when next year shit starts, they have cleaned up a bit more, and so
they just start cracking people over the head.
Bro, and when you see when you see a corpse of a child, bro, and I saw that, bro, like that really does something with you, man, and that's like something different, bro. Like, yeah, the shit is different there, bro. Shit is way different there, and like at some point, like my safety was not guaranteed anymore. There were days where I needed to either like stay in some house because you were shooting outside the whole time. And then sometimes not even going there per se because I already got a call from one of the nuns saying, yeah, there's already a shooting again in the favela. Stay at home today, Marcus. So yeah. And then you're like in this position, you can't even like you need to imagine at 6 p.m. everything is like dark. Really like dark outside. Sun is down and
it gets like that here sometimes too.
Yeah, no, of course. But the thing is, you need, especially in Brazil, looking like me, unfortunately, you really need to watch. You really need to watch where you go. You can't just go like through a night stroll through the city. Like,
yeah, you can't just be having your phone out taking Instagram pictures.
No, I could never go on Rio like this. Never.
So was it the police that was just going through just shooting people?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah. Shooting.
That's some real German shit.
Shooting bandidos. Yeah, that's some real cold ass German shit, man. Yeah, that's true, man.
But,
yeah, man. Yeah.
I mean, first off, before I get to my next few questions, can you tell us about your best experience in living in Brazil?
Bro, ironically enough, despite that, like during my childhood and even there, like just like here, similar like here, the social interactions, man, they're all very open, kind-hearted, emotional, helping people.
And I imagine humble.
Humble towards God, humble towards nature, humble towards the moment, humble even towards your own emotions. When they're sad, bro, but when they're sad, I know, but when they cry, they cry. When they laugh, they laugh. When they're really agitated, they're really agitated. It's like everything, man, and it's just pulsating. Life is pulsating there. It's beautiful. Also with the nature, the animals, the beaches, agua de coco, like coconut water. You can get fresh coconuts at the beach. There you have the people who sell calamaris, like grilled and everything. Bro, Brazil is great, man. They got great food. It's just amazing, bro. Especially Brazilian barbecue. Churrascaria. It's just great, bro. Yeah, Brazil is amazing. Brazil has so much to offer. But yeah, unfortunately, many also corrupt politicians who make it hard for the people living there, especially for the poor. Yeah, that's like the great imbalance and paradox. While it being such a beautiful country and having so many beautiful people and especially beautiful women, man, like Brazilian girls, bro, and their asses, bro. Oh, damn, bro. Oof, man. Yeah. there are some great pearls over there, man. Yeah, I'll tell you that, bro. Very nice, very nice. The Europeans are relaxed, yes.
So, my next set of questions was, so how's traveling, since you're a more well-traveled person than most people, has traveling around the world and seeing so many different places give you an appreciation for the life that you came from?
Yeah.
Living in Germany and America.
Yeah. Yeah, most definitely. Most definitely. Yeah. Most definitely, man. I can't explain it any other way. It has definitely widened my horizon, and most definitely, improved just my general
I'm sorry.
Hunter.
God damn it.
Hunter.
All right, sorry, ladies and gentlemen.
It's
It was
not
like
on the
a
screen.
Slight
It's
technical
out.
difficulty, but it's all good. It happens.
It's not on the screen.
So we were back on the subject of travels and shit like that. Yeah, I recommend it to anyone at some point who can. Go a little bit and explore the world. Southeast Asia is also great. Thailand. They legalized weed there now as well, so y'all can have a blast. Don't need to worry about nothing. Yeah, man. Yeah, it gives you a greater sense of understanding for the human being itself and how life can go for all of us in so many different ways, and how culture plays such a big, also crucial role in our upbringing and how we view certain things, how we view the world, how we view relationships with people. All of that has a very significant influence in the human beings and how we interact with each other day to day. Yeah.
So my next question is, you go somewhere internationally and you get kidnapped. So let's say you go to
Yeah.
like Libya or
Yeah. All right, let's play this through. Okay.
or something.
Yeah.
You call are you calling the German or American embassy?
American embassy. American embassy right away. But I think with Joe Biden being in charge right now, I would
You
still
might
need
be
to
out
wait.
of luck.
Yeah, I might be out of luck, bro. He'd be sleeping, man, most of the time, bro. He won't even pick up the phone, bro. Like, I remember the time I got struck by lightning. Yeah, that was not the question, Joe.
So speaking of politics, well, give me an outside perspective. How do you view this? Because American politics is so kept up with internationally. Now you ask me anything that goes on in any other country besides America, I have no clue.
Yeah.
In terms of political wise, but I'll talk to people from Germany or the UK or Portugal or Ireland, etc. And most people kind of have some idea of what goes on in American politics. So give me a little bit of an outside perspective. How do you perceive the political situation that we have going on?
Well, my outside perspective is that the media apparatus in your country most definitely has taken a big slice of the old German propaganda machine. It is immense crazy, like how polar opposite, like the strong the two political parties are here in this land, but more further, like how much I've noticed that like every media news channel, be it like CNN, MSNBC, or Fox News, or you name all of these other sub-channels, are basically just a mouthpiece of the organizations who are pumping money into them, and they're trying to form public opinion in the favor of also, for example, Big Pharma. I was always very skeptical, for example, when that whole thing started, and let me phrase it that way, it has been crazy how much propaganda has been made about a certain specific thing that people should need to take in order to fight the thing that was going on. I want to keep this very vague because YouTube is very, very hard with this shit, and I don't want to have this censored. So what I just noticed is so many sides have been so hardly polarized and instrumentalized against each other. Like you guys have been, and in Germany there has been that as well, but like especially here, you guys have been in each other's throats like crazy, and the people having mental breakdowns over Trump, for example, or even over Biden, man. It's definitely more extreme here, man. You feel way more like energy flowing here in the political discourse and sphere and having an immediate effect on the people than in Germany. Germany is like the equivalent to a sleeping pill, man. The people there sleep. You look onto the neighbors, friends, bro,
Well,
friends.
the people here are also asleep, like, and that's
Yeah.
the issue.
Yeah,
The issue is that there's not really as big of a divide as the
Yeah.
media would ever portray it to be.
yeah,
Like, let me give you an example. You've been in Austin probably a week and a half, right? Somewhere around
yeah,
there.
yeah.
Now, in that time, how many bad people have you met?
No bad people towards me.
And how many people do you think you've met altogether?
Like met get to know or just met walk
Just in
by.
general, like that just conversated with, even for short periods of time.
Well, I would say I've met a couple of really nice, good,
I'm
open
talking
people.
about a number. Like, how
I
many?
would say 20,
Okay.
25 people with whom I had really nice, good interactions and where I did not feel any hostility or the fact me being German is a problem. No, even more so. To my surprise, the fact me being German was more or less quite welcomed or like interesting for other people or even welcoming for that matter. So yeah, it's been great. It's been great so far.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I love it.
So
I love it.
within those 20 people is a spectrum.
Yeah.
Right. Nobody truly rides really left or right, but there are some people within that spectrum who think they do. Now, outside of politics, people just treat you as a person.
Yeah.
It's just all about
Yeah.
friendliness, loving, and compromise. Like,
Yeah.
people are very people are not prone to conflict, especially when it comes to being person to person in
Yeah.
real life.
Yeah.
It just doesn't feel good. It's not a comfortable position to be in. So adults naturally avoid it.
Yeah.
It is very the thing is that over the last few years we have been so consumed by the media, by living online.
Exactly.
The
Yeah.
truth is that most
Wow.
people live in two
Crazy.
lives.
Exactly, brother.
Like
exactly.
your phone is
yeah.
your life. So
It
most-
is.
yeah.
It is. You're like you entered a symbiotic state with
Yeah.
your phone and with everything, YouTube, Instagram, WhatsApp,
So the problem is the lines between reality and fiction
Yeah.
have gotten blurred
Exactly.
for most people.
That is crazy.
So I'll talk to
yeah.
people, and though they
Yeah.
mean with all their heart not to do it, they'll be like,
Yeah.
these fucking liberals or these fucking
Yup.
Republicans.
Yup.
And it's just like, do you really believe that half the population believes half the shit you're saying? Do you really believe every liberal wants to turn your children gay?
Yeah.
Do you believe every conservative just
Yeah.
wants children to die in schools or whatever the fuck? Like it's always something. There's always these hot topic issues that both sides push.
Yeah.
I'm a person who's very aware of the media. I pay attention. I listen to all sides, and I'll see how they'll throw these little they'll switch perspectives and morph the facts on both sides. I'll see how Ben Shapiro will say something one day, and then suddenly my friends who are more into the political spectrum or who are Republican will just repeat the same shit he says.
Yeah.
The same thing with Rachel Maddow.
Yeah.
My leftist friends will do the same thing. It's so funny because nowadays this was never how the political spectrum was meant to be. Like in America, we never believed in big government in the founding of this country. The whole idea was that you were supposed to use whatever politician served your interests more and vote for him. Like you were supposed to look out for yourself and your community first. You were supposed to pick whatever party
Exactly.
or whatever political candidate was
Yeah.
going to serve your interests, and you were
Yeah.
supposed to be flexible between those two.
Yeah.
Never on earth were you supposed to start saying stuff like, I'll never vote for another Democrat, or I'll never vote for another Republican, or
Yeah.
I hate liberals, I hate conservatives. Like in reality, your beliefs will change over time just like everyone else's does, and it all depends on your perspective.
Yeah.
Now, intent matters more than anything. You got to understand that most people, 90% of people, regardless of what side of the aisle they're fighting for, they want to make the world a better place. They want to make their community a better place. If you understand that intent behind a human being, how can you hate them?
Yeah.
When they just want to make your life better too. Sure,
Yeah.
we have different ways of doing that, but in reality, if you were to talk to people like an adult and have conversations, like you'd find that most people are more alike than you than they've ever been portrayed to be different. The thing is with social media, it's easy to nitpick. There's 300 million of us in this country, and we are all batshit crazy.
Yeah.
The water is poison, the food is
Yeah.
poison, it's hot as fuck, then it's cold as fuck.
Yeah.
Some of us live in very humid climates. Shout
Yeah.
out Florida.
Shout out Florida. Shout out Florida.
I mean, it's not hard to find somebody from anywhere who is losing their mind, and you know, and attribute that to they're left or they're right. Like, yeah, it's easy. When the algorithms just nutpick stuff all the time.
Yeah.
Like, I can give you a great example of this. For example, if a white guy were to go outside and get his ass beat by the police,
Yeah.
I'm just being real. It happens all the time right here on 6th Street.
Yeah.
If we were to court it, like, if just the reality is, it happens just as much, just as often. It wouldn't be picked up by the algorithms or the media because it's not as interesting. Who cares about a white guy getting beat up by a white police officer? But if it was a black guy, regardless of the situation that happened, it'd be a lot more likely to catch a lot more attention. Because there's already a precedent set for it, and the algorithm and the media has already decided that this is the narrative that they're going to push. So unfortunately, that's just the way things are. But people need to learn how to do their own research and try to, as much as possible. And I know it's hard because the reality is, we sleep with our phones. We wake up with our phones.
Exactly.
That's the first thing we see when we
wake
up.
Cyborgs,
For
bro.
the last thing we see when we go to sleep. We shit with our phones.
Exactly,
we
bro.
shower with our
I
phones.
cannot even shit anymore without my phone, bro. This is crazy.
There's no peace.
No, there's no peace. You're automatically like, what the fuck, man? Am I doing
if I
here, man? It's so boring, man.
breaking my phone
crazy.
feels like almost like breaking a limb.
Yeah.
Like that moment your phone hits the floor and your screen drops. It's almost like you just broke an arm. Like,
you tell me, man.
You have to sit there and wait for a while for it to be healed.
Yeah.
You feel different. Like, like, this thing doesn't work the same.
Yeah, man.
I mean, like your phone is. We've entered into symbiotic relationships with our phones. And our phones are gateways to these other realities.
Exactly.
And the truth is that we were evolved over hundreds of thousands of years. Like humans as a species are about 300,000 or 600,000, somewhere around there, years old. And we didn't develop fast. Our technology is developing way faster than our brains. We were never meant to interact with something like this.
No.
And we've entered into a symbiotic relationship, and that's the truth.
Exactly.
We weren't meant to distinguish between reality and like, how can you? It's a dream that you ever presently live in.
Exactly.
You're always on your phone.
We've transmitted basically a part of ourselves, of our personality, onto the internet. So we've uploaded a part of our soul in, phrase it carefully, onto the internet, so to say. In the way like we make our, for example, pages or Instagram or whatever, everything is basically about portraying a side of ourselves where we want to catch or garner attention from other people with the purpose of X, Y, and Z. Dopamine. The dopamine, yes, bro.
It's just too strong.
And now, listen, bro, you know what I find crazy? Now, this is for all the women out there. Especially like hot chicks, right? Or like moderately good looking girls. Like, their like neurological brain system must be out of whack, bro. Like, getting like they just need like a Tinder or some sort of dating profile, and they get like at least 100 or more likes or messages from so many different people, getting the feeling like, oh yeah, I'm the shit, and ego is inflating, more dopamine, and that just like screws up
the world. I mean,
that just completely screws up like dating and relationships in general, like because they have like totally warped.
Just to clarify for the audience, you are you have completed your study in psychology.
Exactly. Yeah.
Clinical psychology. Right?
Yes. Exactly. Yeah.
So I'm just not referencing. It's not like you're actually quite a bit qualified to talk about the social issues.
Exactly.
You know.
Exactly.
And I wanted to bring up the fact that it's been proven that especially the internet in particular has had a serious impact on women, particularly young women.
Oh yeah.
Like I said, our brains weren't meant for this.
No.
And I mean, you can be a 13-year-old girl as soon as your body develops and you start posting pictures. I've seen it all the time with all my friends, cousins growing up. It didn't matter.
Yeah.
I'd have 14, 13-year-old friends when I was that age in high school, 16, 17, 18.
Yeah.
Like, regardless of the age, you just always have these 40, 60, 50-year-old grown men.
Yeah.
Grown-ass men.
Yep.
Grown-ass men doing weird shit in their inbox. And then not only that, but like, how can you not like society makes it so easy when all you have to do is turn around in your photo. Like nobody wants to see the picture of you with your espresso glasses on. You post a picture of you graduating and people are like, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
But you turn around a little bit to the side, you show a little bit of thigh in your picture, and suddenly you have 120 more likes. Like, it's all I gotta do. This is all I gotta do to get a little bit of love from the world.
Exactly, lizard
Like,
brain.
holy
man.
shit! All I gotta do is plump them up a little bit. God damn.
Using the lizard brain of the man to the utmost extent, bro.
I mean, it's crazy. I mean, and for a woman who doesn't have it all together, imagine how the world sucks for her.
Oof,
Like
bro.
just to see so many other women living in perfection. And that's the thing. Nobody in this world is living in perfection.
That's like, and that's the thing. Like, especially these girls, and I met those chicks, bro. They're like mentally fucked, bro. They're like they can't, for the life of them, and you can already, or I can already read it from like their facial expressions, micro expressions, and just like the whole energy surrounding their body. It's warped. There have been already too many guys, too many boys, too much attention, too much here and there, and cross over into there and then back to the other side. That these
a lot
girls
of pleasure, no fulfillment.
Exactly, and they can't.
People don't know the difference anymore.
No,
they don't know the difference.
They don't even know what a real
fulfillment.
relationship is, and like a meaningful relationship is anymore. They don't know that.
I want to know what you think about this comparison, because we were having a great conversation with two Phoenix comics, Mr. Peter Jordan and Mr. Steve Owens, and essentially, like, we were having a conversation very similar to this about social media and how the algorithms and stuff have fucked us up. And I want to know what you think about this comparison. Like, social media is very much like a voodoo doll. Like, and this is what I told them. I said in the beginning of social media and the internet, it started off as a reflection. People were just reflecting their lives. It's just simple pictures, simple words, you know. And eventually, over time, people realized they could tinker with that reflection like never before. Never have you been able to go into a mirror and change the way you look.
Impression management theory from Tedeschi. Look that shit up. There's a psychological concept. Impression management theory. You only show the people what you want them to see, and you form therefore set opinion that you want the people to have about you.
Yes.
So you only show the things you want the people to know and see.
You get so used to wearing the mask, you don't know how to take it off anymore.
Exactly, you become the mask.
That's
Jim
that's the thing. Like, social media is very much like a voodoo doll, because I mean, if somebody attacks you, if they poke fun at your public profile, like, it hurts in real life. It hurts to take embarrassment on social media. Like, to you, that is the real world. That's just
Isn't it crazy how that works? Oh, man, it overlapped like
But here's
crazy.
the problem now. People craft narratives and personalities and ideas of themselves that are delusional and grand, and they get to the point where they can't keep up with it. They can never keep up with this image of themselves. Always perfect with money, always looking good. Like, how can you beat that?
No.
How can you beat that? How can you beat a filter? Like, how do you beat that in real life?
AI.
The sun will never hit you.
You use AI.
The sun will never hit you in that light. Like, I mean, you can take all the photos with your titties, and I mean, just above the titties you want. Like, somebody has to meet you in real life.
It's all about presenting. It's all about the visuals. It's about the visual, how the visual catches and garners your attention, and what that visual does with your brain. Everything has become visual, more and more visual.
We are truly a really, I mean, for all the innovativeness and creativeness that we have, we like to think that we're so sophisticated, that we're not primal, but we're so primal.
We are.
There's so many things that we can't escape. Just part of our nature.
And that's why because part of our nature never was ever in sync with something like this ever before. It is starting to just screw up the neurological brain system, in my personal opinion. But in the end, I mean, like, what else do you want to do? Like, if you, and this is my opinion, you gotta play the game in some kind of way. If you want to get out there, if you want to make something, especially a product, entertaining product, and you just love, like, making videos or entertaining people, producing shit, well, you gotta have an Instagram account, you gotta make a YouTube channel, you gotta even have a Twitter, an X, now it's called X profile. All of that is important. You gotta stay now omnipresent on the digital landsphere, because if you do not, well, you're not gonna get hurt. That's the thing, and that's why basically none of us, and that plays with the part of us being humans, the very strong social factor of us. We don't want to be excluded. We want to be with other people. We want to stay in contact with other people. We don't want to get shut off the world. So it is a normal reflex as a human being to have an IG, Facebook, you fucking whatever there is, name it. You have it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we want to know what's up.
Yeah.
We want to stay in contact.
We are social creatures.
We are social creatures.
Very much like dogs.
Exactly.
Animals. I mean, that's
Exactly.
how we evolved all
Yup.
through society.
That's
It's
true.
just like,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you are more safe when you're around a group of people who love
Yeah.
and care for you, who are
Yeah.
willing to put their
Exactly.
put themselves up for you.
And now many
You know?
people love to stay in digital echo chambers. You
Yeah.
know, that's also one of the problems. Like,
And it makes
yeah.
it too easy. I mean,
Exactly.
the algorithms help you do it unconsciously.
Yo.
They
They
help you
want
do it.
to. They want to
Yeah.
partially.
You
They
never
try
have to say like, "Hey, I only want to watch emo content." Like,
Isn't
just
it- isn't
you
it
don't
cr-
even
yeah.
have to say that. You just
Yeah.
watch it a little bit,
Yeah.
and they're like,
Yeah.
let's
Yeah.
feed them a little bit more."
Isn't that crazy
Let's
how
feed
now
them a
your
little bit
your
more.
own phone, your own technology starts to program you in a
Let me
certain
ask
kind of
you
way?
something.
Yeah.
This is how crazy the world's gotten.
Yeah.
And it almost, I mean, it fucks you. I mean, it almost fucks me up thinking about it because most people have probably never thought about this. But I mean, when's the last time you really like? How often do you really sit there and search YouTube videos? How often do you like have an original thought for your own content that you look at anymore? Remember when the internet was first born? For the first few years, even on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, essentially a few years ago. I mean, really before TikTok, but like even on Instagram and Facebook a few years ago, you used to kind of have to like go look at the profiles that you wanted and
Yeah.
kind of switch over to
Yeah.
them. You'd have to find the people and be like,
Yeah.
oh, what they post today.
Yeah.
You know, on YouTube, you'd have
Yeah.
to know what videos you're
Yeah.
searching. There'd be like a general page at the
Yeah.
beginning that you could check out like the biggest content. But like in terms of like how the recommendation and algorithms work now, like
Yeah.
think about it. How often do you really have an original thought as to what you want to look at?
Yeah.
You just trust your phone so much at this point that
Yeah.
it knows you, and it does.
Yeah.
It does. That's
Yeah.
the scary part. You didn't have to tell it anything. You never had to teach it.
Yeah.
You could go get a new phone tomorrow. You sign into your Google or iCloud account, and your YouTube is rolling again. Your Instagram is
Yeah.
rolling again.
Yeah, but yeah. You know, that's true. But exactly, the algorithm and YouTube.
But it's
depending-
making us
yeah.
into zombies. Like,
Yeah.
we don't have original thoughts anymore. Like,
Yeah.
most people I talk to can't even pay attention more than 22 minutes. Like, particularly in my generation, it's really bad.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's even started to catch up to like the millennials. Like, even the millennials, they're becoming more dumb.
Yeah.
Slow-brained, not really great attention spans.
No, man.
They don't really pay attention to what's going on in the world anymore.
No.
It's just so easy to get entrenched in your own world.
Yeah. Yeah, it has gotten pretty crazy out there, man. Yeah, most definitely. Attention spans shortened like ever.
Man,
Yeah,
and I
man.
thought my generation was bad. Have you ever seen children these days? Bro, my sister and little brother, like as they're growing up, they don't even like. My parents were told to get off the TV. We were told to get off the TV, video games, and then it was started to become YouTube. But like now, like I was watching my sisters and brothers, like the content that they consume on YouTube is like they won't even like play video games. Like they won't even watch videos of stuff.
Yeah.
They'll watch other people doing stuff.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
like the content they prefer, like a lot of children now is like to watch other kids play with toys. Like that's the meta right now.
Yeah.
Like, other kids playing with toys.
Yeah.
Like they don't even want to have fun themselves. Like
Yeah,
they
it's
much
crazy,
prefer
bro.
like it's crazy. It's crazy. And then most parents now, they don't interact with the children. It's just too convenient. You give your child a tablet
Yeah.
and go, oh, they figure out how to work it because I mean the algorithms were built for people with no brains.
Yeah.
So I mean it's not like your children aren't smart. It's just that the algorithm was built to kind of like
Yeah.
help them figure their way out through it.
Yeah.
I also get a lot of people who tell me like my kid is smart because they know how to use YouTube. It's like, well, YouTube was kind of built for your kid to know how to
Yeah.
use. Like they understand that you just want to pass the tablet to your child and let them go. Like it's literally just touch and go. They see an image they like and they say, "That's what I want."
Yeah.
But it's so crazy because like most parents that I know nowadays who raise their kids, like the tablet or YouTube or the TV, Netflix, etc., is what spends a majority of the time with the kid. and then
Yeah.
the parents are also on their phone doing their own thing.
Yeah.
You know, and I really encourage. I love to see people who sit there and like engage with their children because it's so important. Because then that's how people end up growing up with all these weird social anxieties and stuff that are coming out throughout the world. It's like everybody in my generation, they all have anxiety or depression.
Yeah.
And they'll even self-diagnose themselves. Like, I have bipolar disorder.
Yeah.
My mood changes
Yeah.
every 3 seconds. I'm
Yeah.
like, bitch, that's not what bipolar disorder is.
Yeah.
Stop watching so much TV.
Yeah.
I like how
Yeah.
you self-diagnose yourself.
Yeah.
Everybody has ADHD, ADD,
Yeah.
autism.
That's
fucking-
true. Yeah.
I mean, it's
Feels
crazy.
like it, right? Yeah.
But that's part
Yeah.
of it is, I mean, it's definitely a lot of it is the poison, but it's also just like our minds were not meant to do this. You weren't meant to grow up interacting with the tablet. I
Yeah.
mean, or the internet more than you interact with people, and that's just the reality of it. Most people now interact with the internet more than people.
Yeah, that's true, man. Yeah.
How can you not? I mean,
Yeah.
you can sit in your room and
Yeah.
watch YouTube or Netflix all day.
Yeah, yeah, man. It's gone crazy, man. It has turned many of us into zombies. Well, and man, I'm guilty a little bit in that part myself. I catch myself like doom scrolling more times than I would like myself to do. So I'm thinking every time I step like throw this shit away. Fuck, man, get away from me. Like this is like sucking me in, man. This is bad. I don't
I'm not
like
talking
this.
shit because my phone is right here. It's
Yeah.
not like I mean, it's how can you beat it? I mean, it's built by some of the best scientists in
Really?
the world from all different fields, from neuroscience to psychology to artificial intelligence. Like, how can you beat it?
Yeah.
I mean, these guys are paid millions of dollars to poke at every.
You need to
hole in your brain
reprogram your
possible.
own. You need to reprogram your own algorithm. You really need to think before you need to start thinking about what you want to watch before you click on YouTube. If there are any topics or like specific technicalities or operational functions of software, programs, music instrument, whatever, or even being know how to learn how to write a rap text, and look up that, and then your algorithm starts changing slowly more into productive shit and not like the newest drama from whatever like streamers and what they got into and all of just this like purely mind numbing shit which is just made for entertainment and just for cheap dopamine. And you need to try and reprogram the things you see, the things you type in, the way you think before going at these platforms to then get better content which like really stimulates your mind in a informative, creative way, and it's just not cheap dopamine shit.
Agreed, and that's what I try to focus on. I
Yeah.
try to if I'm gonna spend time on my phone, I try
Yeah.
to engage with content that
Yeah.
I think will teach me
Yeah.
or expand my mind
Yeah.
a little bit. You know, whether that
Yeah.
be on a physical, mental, or
Mhm.
spiritual level. You know, and of course you don't always win. There's these times where I just
Mhm.
want to look at silly
Mhm.
shit and laugh.
Yeah,
You know.
me too. Yeah.
You know, but you know the goal is to try to be better as a person, and nobody ever truly succeeds in becoming a perfect individual.
No.
How can you can? The world is imperfect. Your parents are imperfect. It's
That's
built
true.
by imperfect people. Like
Yeah.
it's not possible to ever get there, you know. But our goal is to strive and become as good as we can as individuals.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that?
Yeah, most definitely.
And I mean, in your experience traveling, I mean, as a ambitious and a person who's curious about the world, I always love meeting people like you because it's very similar to myself. I haven't traveled internationally a lot, but I've traveled through this country a lot, and I've been to Mexico a few times. But you know, how does it feel when you see so many people in the world who are just like trapped by their own minds? You understand what I mean?
Yeah, especially in Germany, you have a lot of those
Yeah.
people. Yeah, in Germany, there are a lot of people that are trapped in their minds. And let me tell you, like, the crazy same political, ideological discourse goes on there as well. Basically, it has went over from the US to Germany, but
Which is how everything works.
which is how everything works.
In the Western societies.
Yeah, especially
Everybody's downstream, culture
especially during the
downstream.
pandemic.
Yeah.
And there, this ideology met the mentally, culturally ingrained neuroticism that is culturally embedded in the Germans in Germany. And oof, man, yeah, that was, they are very, very special that way, I could say. Yeah, man, yeah, it's crazy, bro. No, really, man, yeah, most definitely. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, I'd say it was probably worse here than it could have ever been in any other country.
Yeah.
Because just like there's so many people here who just grew up drinking tap water. There's so many people here who grew up drinking tap water. Like it's crazy. It's both the left and the right. I mean,
fucked up the head, right?
Yeah, there are some crazy wackos out there who are just so into this culture war thing.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Just like, in reality, the truth is that it's very karmic in the sense of politics. In that the more you try to get involved and push for something, like particularly from one side or the other, the more you're just feeding into the same problem that you're arguing against.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, I don't like them for these reasons, and then your side does it, and you have to ignore it. Because I literally see both sides do the exact same shit, and then they'll complain about each other, the other side for the consequences. They'll be like, well, how come we had to get arrested when we fucked up and rioted?
Yeah.
How come they didn't? It's just like, and then the next time it's like, how come they got to shoot a protester, but if we even vandalize some property, we're in trouble. Like it's just it's always stupid shit. Look at this politician that's crazy on this side. Look at this politician that's crazy on this side. Like you guys both have people that are batshit crazy because I don't know if you guys know this, but politicians come from the population, and our population is batshit crazy, and they don't know anything when it comes to international politics or the way the world works, or just America, because America is a very confusing place. When you ask somebody who grew up in one city or a small town and you tell them, hey, now you're in trouble of this wide area where people are so different from each other. I mean, I'm sure you've experienced it just traveling through different places in America. Our laws are completely different. They're so confusing.
Oh, yeah.
Let me give, like, Texas is a great example. I can use Texas as an example. So marijuana is a Schedule I controlled substance on a federal level.
Yeah.
That means it is up there with heroin. I mean worse than heroin, I believe. As in, there's no medical purpose for it whatsoever. That is how marijuana is classified on a United States level. In Texas, marijuana is also criminalized. There's some loopholes, which is why you got like THCP, etc. out here. But regular marijuana is pretty much considered completely illegal in Texas. But within the state capital, the capital of Texas, that's what Austin is, the capital of Texas, because the cities, etc., are run by their own local politicians. That's the way politics is supposed to work in America. You have a tighter foothold on your community than you do on the wider expanse of politics. So the community here got together and decided to decriminalize marijuana, and I'm sure you've seen it since you've been here. Like you can just go on the street and smoke. The police will leave you alone in the capital of Texas. You know, you in Texas, guns are legal. Marijuana is not. You go to California, guns are basically illegal. Marijuana is not.
Exactly.
Like, what is going on here? You go up to Vegas and prostitution is legal. Like what is going on?
It's the old trickaroo there.
I mean, like, oh my God, this country is such a beautiful place. I mean, and this is why there's such a vast array of beautiful.
America is beautiful. I love it.
That's why there's such a vast array of talent and beautiful minds that come out of here, because, you know, one of the beautiful things about here is that, you know, no matter what you believe, no matter what you like to do, there's a place in this country for you. I don't care if your passion is carrots. There's a place where there's a community of just people who love carrots somewhere in this country. Like there's a people of community just like Beanie Babies, like it's
everything.
Fucking this good. We're a beautiful, diverse place. I mean, we have no standard look.
That's true. I love that.
No standard mindset.
Exactly.
Baby, just freedom. That's our mindset when you think about it.
I love it.
A lot of Americans have gotten away from that, but we still feel it like low-key internally if you talk to them. The moment they get arrested for getting drunk, they be like, my rights! My rights! How can you arrest me for drinking? The moment they get in any type of trouble, they be when they want to remember all their rights. You know, like, I have a right to shut the fuck up.
Exactly, man.
I mean, fuck, I hope you enjoyed your time down here, Marcus.
So much, man. So much. And I'm still enjoying it, man. And we will hit the gun range soon, man. We'll be great,
you guys
man.
will look for that content coming out.
Oh, yeah. You better,
Comedy
man.
Network.
You better. Shit's going down, man. Going down the town. Yeah. Fuck yeah, man.
Any other topics you want to touch on, Marcus?
Well, nah, I would say, man, most definitely looking forward to next week and to all the content we're still gonna produce, and we are still gonna have, hopefully, one last podcast before I go back to the Germans in Germany. Ice cold Germany. I just got the call today that it's already again cold as fuck, and oh man,
Not looking forward to
I'm
it.
not looking forward to it. So right now I try to
this
enjoy
Austin humidity had you
Exactly.
melting like a fucking popsicle.
Yeah, man. But now I'm gonna enjoy it even more so, because I know now it's like 5 months again of just like blistering cold rain and gray skies. So yeah, man, I'm still looking forward to this week, man. I'm looking forward to all the great things we're still gonna do, and then to the last podcast we hopefully still gonna be able to make, man. And then yeah, man, all's good. And then I'll be coming back next year in May. Most definitely. Fuck yeah, bro. I'm gonna move here. That has been the whole plan and mission of me even coming to Texas. So, and now I've been here for almost a month, 3 weeks now and counting, but it has most
We're
definitely
gonna get you out there to shoot some guns. It's gonna be
Yes.
super entertaining.
Get my guns. Let's shoot some deers.
Yeah.
Drinking beers and shooting some deers, motherfucker.
Let's go shoot some hogs.
Yes, man.
Let's go knock down some of them wild hogs.
Go knock them down, man. Yeah.
But I can't wait to show you the full American Texas experience down here.
Yes, man. Yes.
Hopefully you don't go back and start the fourth ride.
We'll see about that.
See about that.
Shook the butt.
Don't worry, because if you do, we have one great military, and we don't mind coming and doing it again.
You better get your whole army, brother.
But it's been a great time, Marcus. It's always
Yeah.
it's always a great chat with you.
Yeah, thank you. Likewise, man. It's always a great time with
Any
you guys.
closing thoughts for you? Want to let the people know your Instagram or anything?
Well, my Instagram it's kind of hard to remember. It's __ carioca with 2 C's __. It's the Portuguese word for someone who comes from Rio de Janeiro. Like, people who come from New York are Yankees, or that's the slang word for people like them. The people
Well,
who
that's what they call us Americans.
yeah.
That's
Okay, well, yeah, in general, Yankees and Mexico, yeah, that's true.
the Brits
Yankees.
always do it a lot too.
Yeah,
They're like,
that's true.
Fucking Yanks.
Yeah, the Yanks, yeah, that's true.
Fucking
They use
tea-drinking
that.
crumpet motherfuckers.
They use that as a general word. That's true.
You're the Queens people still.
Yeah.
I got jokes for y'all too.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Like, go
Yeah.
ahead and McDouble with that bitch.
Yeah.
That's what they want to tell me.
Yeah, man. Nah, man, but all cool, man. So, yeah, man, it has been a great time with y'all, and I love it, man. Love it. Up until next time, most definitely, yeah.
Any closing thoughts for the audience?
Closing thoughts for the audience. Well, yeah, think about how much you have already inserted yourself into the digital landscape and how much it has infected you in positive and negative ways, and how you can try to basically diminish the negative ways and use it more for your own good and for productivity and productive measures, I would say, and for us all to try, despite all the chaos and
I'm so sorry, Marcus.
yeah, what do
We
you
gotta go over one more thing before
Yeah.
you go.
say?
I mean, just because I'm just so interested and I wanted you to
Yeah.
talk a little bit about this.
Sure.
Tell us about your experience working in foster care, like in foster homes.
Yeah.
Was it group homes or foster homes?
It was a group home. It was a group home. It was I always get these terminologies mixed up, foster home, group home, but it was a group home for young children and teenagers from age of 8 until 18, basically. And apparently in Germany you can get like the social help until the age of 26. So we had one 21-year-old also living there. And the experience has been very also multifaceted, multidimensional. On one hand, very rewarding, because like this immediate like joy the children or teenagers felt when you help them navigate through a problem, a situation, or help them with schoolwork or whatever. Like this joy and appreciation, like the purity of it, like the energy you receive from that has been like absolutely overwhelmingly positive and amazing. Like there's nothing like better, purer, more powerful than to have a positive impact in a person's life, because you literally help them conquer or defeat a certain problem, manage a certain problem better that they've had before, and give them the impression that they are not alone in this world. Yes, this world is hard, but there is still good out there, which you should strive for and which you should fight for, and that you should not stop believing that there are still good people out there. You just need to find them. There are also, of course, many bad people there in the world, and the guy who run that foster home, corrupt as fuck. I never would have thought that something in Germany would ever exist in that kind of sense. It was a private group home, so to say, so not stately regulated. Apparently in Germany it is allowed to make your own group home and say, yeah, I'll be taking in children from certain like organizations, and for each of these children
That's how foster care works here. That's how group homes work here.
Yeah, so, and dude, man, like, and for all of these like very like intense cases, he got like 8 until 15K per month per child, and invested none of that money into any like real programs like anti-aggression training units or behavioral therapy units, whatever. It was just me and 2 other people from South America. He basically had a whole team of just people from South America who could barely speak German, and that in a German group home is a little bit difficult, because especially children need to be able to be heard, to communicate, and have the feeling and the opinion that they're being understood, especially there more than ever. And yeah, he basically abused their status of not having any education and not being so well versed in the German language, by pinpointing them into like measly contracts, them also living on the premises where he has this like big ass building where the children live, them also paying him rent money, then them being there basically 24/7, always at disposal, even though on their days of free, because he made so much pressure. And he's just like, he's 75 years old, man. He's running that shit for 40 years already. Apparently none of the neighborhood movements were able to get that motherfucker out, and he's still there up until this day, but like even barely making it. I mean, and this is crazy, and there I've seen like a person who's so addicted to money, but not spending any of it, but just to have it, and running around in the most dragged out clothes, but having a villa, a four-level villa in Flensburg, right at the lagoon. Like, it's crazy, man. Like, this type of character that guy is, and him having this Colombian 30-year-old younger wife, who through her family brought all of the people over there, so he has basically workers. It's crazy, man. And then the ex-man of said Colombian girl also living there and being then the driver for said. Jesus, like, I cannot make this shit up if I wanted to. It's like a whole Shakespearean theater, man, and the shit that went down there, and just like how unresponsible he was, bro. I've been basically the quote-unquote chef of the place for the time I was there, because he never really even ever bothered. I was always between the ropes, jumping here and there, trying to sort this out, having this conversation, this talk with the one parent, then the one with the police and everything, bro. And it was just so much, and he never did try to change anything. I like talked with him 15 times about like kids needing specific, like we had one autistic child there, who needed complete different attention and treatment than we could offer. But just the mere fact that he got 20K for that kid, he was and still is there up until this day, because I'm still in contact with one of the colleagues there, and yeah, it's just lemony snicket all over. Yeah, it is a messy situation, bro.
It's a really dark place.
Wow.
I mean, it's full of such bright and caring people, but there's such the opposite also exists.
It's so crazy. It's been so dark, man, and it really fucked me over, man. I could only worked there for 2 years. This year in February I stopped because I just could could not do it anymore. It was just too much, and also him then going because the thing is, there was this one trial, there was this one court case where it was my duty to accompany the mother and her 2 children and observe their interactions and their telephone calls and observe it over half a year, and then give my statement to the court if the kids should go back to their mother or not. And I said yes, because it was really good. The mother tried her best. She also did not. That's the thing. The kids got taken away from her because due to ideological quote unquote manipulation. So it had a political reasoning. The kids were not abused, not abused, not with sexually, drug, whatever. So and anyways, so she was a good mother. I'm just gonna throw it out there, and I've accompanied them, and I have a good sense of understanding for human beings. So when I said, yeah, I want the children to be reunited with their mother and go back to give it another try, rather than having here in the group home where there are like cases and people from so many different ages who have a negative influence on them. The one was 7 years old and the other one 9 years old. Like they were the youngest there, and I thought it would be better to reunite. So I wrote the judge, I went to the court, said all of that, yeah, I want them to be reunited, just for my boss to fall in my back with a knife, and the guy from the other organization saying, yeah, you cannot trust this guy, we made a mistake in giving him that task because he's not competent for that. Anyways, long story short, he wanted beforehand for me to redact my statement because he read through it before I've sent it there. Did not want for me to send it there, I sent it anyways because he wanted for me to change the story in such a way that the kids stayed there because he wanted the money. He wanted them just for the money. He did not give a fuck about the kids crying at night, wanting their mom back. He did not give a fuck about the fact that I've been reading them over 1.5 hours a night just to make them sleep, and been accompanying them and being basically the forefront of all their emotional problems. And he just wanted the money. Don't give a fuck about nothing else, just money. It's just business for him. He treated it like a fucking business. He treated these kids like fucking pigs in a slaughterhouse. Just like keep them sedated with the internet, which gets turned on at 5 p.m. and then that's that, and then you have peace and quiet and all of that. It was crazy, bro. It was crazy. And then I noticed, okay, you fucker, you are that evil, you're that corrupt, and you're doing this just purely out of money, and even now going through these lengths and telling the judge I'm some sort of foul character or not responsible enough to take care of such a task. Fuck you, man. Fuck you. I'm out of this shit. So that's the reason why I then also quit, because I thought if I'll stay here, my soul and my mental well-being will deteriorate way even more, because I can't keep on working for such a person. So that has been my experience, but I was able to help many people with whom I'm still in contact. I'm still in contact with these 2 kids and the mother whom I accompanied. I had a talk with them today. That's the reason why I told you. Still had an important phone call to Germany to make. These 2 boys I'm still accompanying. I'm still in their life. We're still talking. I have this other boy whom I'm helped get his high school diploma, who I'm helped through school. And then there are also 2 other children who, through my colleague, always send me messages, and I them. So I also left something good. I helped a couple of people. I may not have helped all. You can't always help everybody, but I, thanks to God, can show a couple of successful, positive stories or accomplishments during my time there. Not everything was dark and God-forsaken. There was also light that I was able to bring in there and into the lives of these specific people, and for that I'm happy. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. And there's so much more that I want to get into, but we're gonna cut this episode short because it's been quite a while, and you've done great today.
Thank you, brother.
Appreciate you coming through today.
Man, I loved it. Yeah, I loved it, bro. And we'll do one last before I go.
Yeah.
One last before I go. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Most
Sounds good.
definitely.
So that was episode 1 of Dramacast.
Yeah.
It was a great time.
It was, bro.